Hey class, Professor Kennedy here with this week's edition of Talk Talk, brought to you by the Ray Morgan Company. Look, we got to take on the Broncos, and we got to go to Mile High, end of the year. It's a pivotal game, it's an important game. And one thing that I wanted to focus on today is Denver's defensive line. In the last 4 games, they've had 13 sacks. And though they've been decimated by injuries to critical people, they are still proving to be a force for this Bronco team. Let's take a look at a few of their plays. First I want to take a look at is the Texans games. Now, of course, everybody wants to know where number 58 is, Von Miller. Let me help you out in this illustration. He's right here. Because he's so far wide, what's ended up going to happen by design is number 88 is supposed to help get a chip on him, and then the tackle is supposed to respond. The problem here is that not only do you get a lazy, lackluster chip by your tight end, but the tackle takes a horrible set, turns his shoulder, and when you have someone as speedy and crafty as Von Miller with such a low center of gravity, he's going to go right through that and kill your quarterback. So my first lesson to the left tackle here is do a better set at blocking your responsibility. Let's take a look. Out of the shotgun, horrible set, horrible angle by number 78, terrible chip. He whiffs big time. Now Von Miller has the acceleration to the quarterback. You notice the tackle was wrong because he left the picture. Now in constant classes, I've told you it's essential that you get yourself in second and third manageable situations because you don't want to give the advantage to the defense. In this instance, the Houston Texans are now backed up. It's 3rd and 15. Usually in those situations, you're going to have defenders like Von Miller and all these other defensive guys that are going to tee back their ears and just roll. But because it's an empty set, you have no threat in the middle, everything is extended. So what I want to do is I want to show you first and foremost how I would call the protection, or he would be the most valuable, and tell you where the Texans messed up and how they got it wrong. So looking at this defense right here, we see that they're extended, pass outside the tackles. The quarterback of the offensive line is the center. He's got to make a decision. Who is the most valuable or the most threat out of linebacker position? We know we've got four front men. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to have those 4 rushers either way it goes. Now you have to decide, because there's no back in the backfield, who is the most dangerous linebacker? Is it 1 or is it 2? What I would do is I would put a free man into my right-handed quarterback's face. So I would take number 1 out of the equation and allow number 2 to come free. That way my quarterback can see him. What the Texans did wrong is they assigned number 2, and they didn't even do a good job at it because this guard is going to be lost as we show the play. It should go 1, 2, 3, 4. That would account for those 4. Leave the tackle isolated on the outside in, and this guy's either in coverage or because he's got to sit out here and cover the tight end, or he's going to be a free rusher. They don't do either, ends up in a sack. Now you see the tackle take a poor set. You've got an outside man running free. Now Deshaun Watson has nowhere to go. He can't even throw the hot read because he's not expecting 47 to be free. So we've seen a couple plays where people didn't either perform well with a little bit of a lazy look, or more importantly, didn't decide or decipher who's going to be the most dangerous and end up giving sacks. Third case is a coverage sack. Look, playing offense is a total game. The quarterback has to know when people are open to get the ball to him. Receivers have to get open. Offensive line has to protect. That's why football is the hardest team game. All these guys have to perform at the same level, the same intensity level, at the same time for them to be successful. When the other side of the ball, the defense gets the advantage of, is when somebody's not doing their job at the best of their ability. In this instance, you're just going to see a coverage sack. Protection is going to break down, and the coverage is going to hold up. They're going to end up getting to the Detroit Lions and sacking the quarterback. Let's take a look. See the motion? We got man. Now you've got max protection. Look how many guys you have in. If you stop it right there, the reason why I wanted to pause it here, I want you to see how many people you have in protection. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 4. Should be advantage offense. However, you don't have enough receivers out there to really threaten the defense, and they double and take away your most important receiver. Ends up becoming a coverage sack. Let's take a look. Quarterback does a little bit of a slight rollout. You can have double teams across the board as far as protection because you have enough guys. Quarterback has to pull it down and eat the ball. So what do we expect when we see the Broncos? Look at it this way. The Broncos are one of our arch rivals. If they have a way of knocking us out of the playoffs, you know they're going to take it. More importantly, Drew Lock is 3-1 as a starter. They might have their quarterback in the future. They might not. We've got to go in there into a hostile environment at the end of the year. It's not going to be that cold. It's not going to be that bad. But we definitely got to have a win if we have playoff aspirations. With that being said, the guys up front are going to have to do a good job against these front 4. They found a way to generate pressure with only getting 4 guys in the backfield. So not only the receivers are going to be able to have to win, Derek's going to have to find the open guys and make those key pivotal throws like he did against the Chargers. If we're able to do that, we should be able to bring home a victory, and who knows what happens after that. Well, that does it for this week's edition of Chalk Talk. I'll see you next week.